We will call the meeting to order. I think Colleen was a maybe and would try, but for the sake of the brevity of everyone, we will push ahead as we have a quorum of the board. I call the meeting to order. Will the secretary take the roll, please?
Yes. Matt.
Here.
Suzanne.
Here.
Virginia.
Here.
Ted.
Here.
Okay, we're missing Mother Emma's here. Colleen. Not here. And Christina. Not here. But I think we have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay. And then I believe the first order of business would be motion to meet virtually.
So moved.
Is there
Ted
a second?
seconds.
Thank you, Ted.
Mhm.
Hearing no discussion, Audrey, will you take the roll, please?
Absolutely. Matt.
Yes.
Suzanne.
Yes.
Virginia.
Yes.
Ted.
Yes.
And Mother Emma is okay to meet virtually.
Excellent. Thank you. Public comments. I received no comments via email or the forum. I shouldn't say, did not receive any via the forum ahead of time. I received 2 comments from board member Christina Rogers, who would not be able to attend tonight. And I'll read her comments here. I want to express my enthusiasm and delight in hiring Jocelyn Bowling Dixon as our next executive director. I am grateful to all that were involved in the search: library staff, Oak Park community members, the Blackberry Collective, my fellow board members, and of course, Jocelyn. I look forward to working together. Thank you to Matt for writing this resolution. I am consistently in awe of our library staff and the way they work to create an atmosphere that fosters belonging and inclusion. Okay. Are there any guests present who would like to make a comment at this time? Hearing none, we will move on to old business. The first being the resolution supporting library collections and programs. I will read it again. I did remove the section regarding the role of the library board as budgetary and policy based, so that I felt it would be more focused on the staff. Resolution in support of library staff collections and programming. Whereas the Oak Park Library adheres to the ILA Freedom to Read statement. Whereas the Oak Park Library adheres to the ILA Freedom to View statement. Whereas the Oak Park Library has collection strategy statement that was developed by staff and approved by the Board of Trustees. Whereas the Oak Park Library has adopted the following policies: Library Bill of Rights, Equity and Anti-Racism Statement, and a library for everyone. Whereas there have been renewed organized efforts to censor and remove materials from schools and public libraries across the country. Whereas efforts to provide equitable and diverse programming has been met with hate speech, protests, and threats. Whereas these challenged books and programs are often elevating the voices and viewpoints of historically marginalized peoples. And whereas the Oak Park Library actively recruits trained and passionate individuals to manage our collections, provide services, and execute programs for our community. Resolved that the Oak Park Public Library Board, 1, supports its professional staff and the decisions they make in selecting the collection materials and programs that, in their judgment, best engage with the community. 2, stands in solidarity with public libraries across the region, state, and country as they face renewed efforts to limit access to books and programs. 3, encourages library staff everywhere to continue raising voices of historically marginalized people, regardless of age, race, ethnicity, gender identity, or sexual orientation. 4, calls on people who believe in the mission of public libraries to run for election to their local library board. And 5, calls on communities to restore their faith in and support of the professional library staffs who work to bring resources and opportunities to their communities and their continued improvement. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second? Moved by
Second.
Suzanne, seconded by Madhurima. Are there any further questions or comments?
I would simply hope that as what's coming next, that this does not tie the hands of Jocelyn as she's coming forward. And I hope that she is a part of this whole resolution and she is on board with it.
Yes. This is a statement of support, not a binding action.
Okay.
For us.
Thank you.
With that, will the secretary take the roll call vote, please?
Yes, Matt,
Yes.
Suzanne,
Yes.
Virginia,
Yes.
Ted,
Yes.
and Madhurima is a yes.
The resolution is adopted. Thank you, everyone. And next,
I'm sorry, Matt, can we, did you send us a copy of the new edited resolution?
I will, and I'll make sure it gets. I did not. I think the only thing I took out was the statement about the board having a role in the budget and policy. I took to heart the feedback that it seemed slightly out of place with the document so focused on the importance of staff and their work.
And that
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Madhurima, that was also redundant because that's what the board does.
I was just asking so that I could share the language of the resolution.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. And now moving on to our second item of business. We have extended in an offer to the executive director to Jocelyn Bowling Dixon, and for $150,000 annual salary to begin her employment on November 7th. Is there a motion to approve that hire?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Sorry,
By
sorry.
Ted,
Virginia.
seconded by Virginia. Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Well, Matt, you said we extended the offer. Did she accept it?
She did.
Oh, good.
Yes.
That would be quite a surprise for this meeting right here.
All right. We're gonna hold a moment to. It looked like there was someone trying to join the meeting but was having trouble. I'm going to give them a moment to give them a chance to come back on. Yes, it was accepted with as much I would imagine as much enthusiasm as she expressed to us on Friday evening. So, okay. All right. Are there any other questions or comments as we before we have the vote? I have one statement I'd like to read before we take the vote. And before we hold this vote, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who helped us complete this journey. Firstly, to Rashida Graham Washington and her team at the Blackberry Collective. They have helped us look at this search in a different way that asks some tough questions that this board will continue to reflect upon beyond tonight. To Lori, the leadership team, managers, and the dozens of staff that have worked as hard as ever to deliver services and programs to the community as the search has progressed. To my fellow board members, I appreciate all the extra meetings, some even at odd days and times. Cough, Friday, cough. Your dedication to seriousness and the deliberation towards this experience has made it possible for us to come to this successful conclusion of a search and the start of our next phase in our library service to our community. And finally, thank you to Jocelyn for her patience and enthusiasm. Makes it clear to me that you are ready for the work ahead. Please know that this board is behind you and ready to work hand in hand with you to empower our staff and community to make this a library for everyone. And with that, will the secretary please take the roll call vote for hiring Jocelyn Dixon as our next executive director?
Yes. Matt,
Yes.
Suzanne,
Yes.
Virginia,
Yes.
Ted,
Yes.
and Mother Emma is a yes.
And with our two absent members, we have a unanimous hire of our next executive director, who will begin November 7th. So Lori, we're not done yet. Just a few more weeks, but we have begun getting things in place, I believe, email accounts and all of the rest for her to begin. And we will look forward to starting to have those conversations and get started with Jocelyn in November. And with no other items on our agenda for the evening, we stand adjourned. I look forward to just some regular board meetings for a while now, people.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everyone.
Have a great
Bye.
night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.